Welcome back to The World Today. A Moroccan special envoy has met Kenyan President Uhuru Kenyatta to seek support for his country's bid to rejoin the African Union. The envoy of King Mohammed VI, Tahib Fassi Firi, says Morocco wants to rejoin the AU without any preconditions. President Kenyatta has promised to lobby for Morocco. The North African country left the Organization of African Unity in 1984 after the OAU recognized the independence of Western Sahara, but has now started lobbying African countries to support its bid at the ongoing African Union Summit in Kigali, Rwanda. Reports say the country's foreign minister has already visited other African countries, including Egypt, Libya, Sudan, and Ethiopia. The United Nations says the Democratic Republic of Congo is unlikely to hold a presidential election as scheduled in November. This comes after experts warned that the election could trigger violent political unrest. President Joseph Kabila is bound by term limits to step down, but opponents accuse him of deliberately delaying the polls to cling to power. President Kabila has been in power since 2001. Well, let's take some light news. In South Africa, Kapeni Estate is making history as the first farm to commercially grow strawberries in the KwaZulu-Natal North Coast, a region generally said to be unfavorable for the fruit. Zolani Gumedi pumped in over $1 million into the venture 3 years ago and says growth has been around 250% year on year. The farm is also GAP certified, allowing it to export strawberries to anywhere in the world.
In South Africa's KwaZulu-Natal province, workers pick strawberries that have surprisingly thrived in the region's balmy temperature. Strawberries generally grow best in low-temperature climate, but the Kapni Estates farm in Balito, a town about 40 kilometers north of Durban, is making history when former project manager Zolani Gumede and his wife started the farm in 2013 in a hot and humid region seemed to be hostile for growing the fruit. They were not sure their plan would work. Today, Zolani is making profits from his 17-hectare farm, where he grows various varieties of strawberries that seem to be doing well there.
Strawberries do prefer cooler, colder climates than the ones which exist here in Palito. But in saying that, advancements in the varieties which you can grow have made the options of growing strawberries in this type of climate a lot more possible. The varieties we grow now are a lot more heat tolerant than, say, 20, 30 years ago. And they didn't exist 20, 30 years ago.
The farm hires at least 80 people per season to pick the berries. Zolani took a loan of about $1.5 million to start the venture. He says he is taking advantage of a gap in local strawberry farms in the region. Kapni Estate sells most of its strawberries as whole fruit and the rest as pulp for juices and jam, among other products.
Finally, on the program, South Korean soldiers guarding one of the most armed borders in the world are trading their military boots and rifles for ballet shoes. Find out why in this next report.
Every week, soldiers in Paju change into ballet slippers and get ready for class. It's a welcome distraction from their military service near South Korea's heavily armed border with the North. The two countries are still technically at war. There's a lot of tension here since we're the unit on the front line, which makes me feel anxious at times. However, through ballet, I'm able to stay calm and find a balance, as well as build friendships with my fellow soldiers. So I think I'll keep practicing even after the military service. The soldiers say it helps with flexibility and strengthens the muscles. Teacher Lee Yang-jo, who dances with the Korean National Ballet Troupe, says it's a rewarding job.
Being a soldier is quite tough, so I wasn't sure I could actually help them. But now I'm glad to be here, and I feel worthwhile whenever I see them smiling more and enjoying ballet as they learn it little by little.
The soldiers are staging a ballet event at the end of this year and hope to top last year's performance of part of Tchaikovsky's Swan.
Or whatever works for you. For the South Korean soldiers, it's Ballet. That's the world today. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Temitope Fagbemi.